Alright, now we're going to set this sword up for a texture bake. So we're going to burn all these materials into one texture. Here, first we got to clean up everything. Edit, delete by type history, modify freeze transformation on the sword. If you go in here to Window, Hypergraph Hierarchy, there should be this button right here, and you can see all of the great stuff that's in your scene. So what you want is only the object that you're baking, nothing else. All the rest of this stuff can just go away. Let's name the object sword. Okay, let's normals set to face on the object. Okay, next let's take a render globe or a globe, make it huge, go around the object just like that. Let's take this globe and we're going to assign it a material. So let's grab our material hypershade. I got it called globe, but globe is just a Lambert, so I just make a new Lambert. Get rid of the old one. Okay. We'll call this new one globe. It's ambient color. What I want to do is rank this up. So if you go into this, we can rank up ambient color right here. And I can middle mouse button click and drag that out to the scene and hit 6 on the keyboard. Another thing I want to do is grab the globe and go normals, reverse. This will make it so the outside is transparent and the inside is opaque. I can do this or see this because backface culling is on my computer. Okay, now that you have everything set up, let's save scene as. The next thing we want to do is eliminate any rendering points or gloss points on the model. So every material that we made, all you do is have to double click on it and take down the reflectivity of it. Instead of having this, you'll have this, including the glass and anything else. Those gloss points, the reflectivity is going to be put in via the spectral map, not on the object baked into the texture. If you have it baked into the texture, you'll never make sense of the actual material later on. Okay, next I'm going to click on this. I'm going to go down its render stats. So to get to this, you click here and you'll see render stats, and I want to say receive shadows. I want to take that off. And the globe, I want to take cast shadows off. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to click here and I'm going to go into mental ray, turn on some features. I want global illumination, ray tracing, final gather. I'll do a little render. and this is what I'm getting. Okay, so I just want to make sure of a few things. First off, let's look at the normals, because I saw some stuff that might play into effect. Go to polygons, face normals, and I can go display polygon normal size, which is always fun to find. There it is. And let's lower that down. Basically what I'm looking for is all the normals are facing out. In fact, they are. Good. And all the globe, you notice the normals are facing in. So let's go into rendering, lighting and shading, batch bake mental array square box. And you have to do that kind of twice every once in a while to get the properties to show up. What I want to do is bake to a single object. Do not bake shadows. Bake set override. Lighten color. I'm going to use 256 at first because I want to debug this. So 256 by 256. This will be a very fast render, because if you do this at 4096 and it messes up, it takes so long to actually fix. Okay, so save your scene. Make sure you set your project. And when I hit convert, it's going to take a while, and I'll be back. When your baking is complete, you should have a texture now. And let me show you what we have to do in the next step here. So here's our texture, and we right click on it and say edit texture. As you can see in the texture, I have a sword that on one side is almost a lighter color than the other side. I have darker, lighter, all the way through this. So that's what we're trying to eliminate. We don't want the darker, lighter going on. And I want to show you how that works. But first I had to show you what you're looking for as far as a flaw is concerned. Because let's say this was in game or in a video, it's going to be kind of wonky that one side is actually shadowed and the other side is not. So we saved this scene. So let's open it back up. Okay, this time let's set up some lights. Let's go to display, polygons, face normals. Turn those off. I'm going to grab a directional light, and I'm going to turn it to 0.25. Okay. Don't forget this thing out here is an ambient color. So ambient will take light and make it about 10 times brighter. So let's take this, Shift D it to duplicate it and rotate it around. Shift D again, rotate it. Shift D again, rotate it. So I have one going in every direction. Okay, let's give it a little render. Nice. Now you might be one to take and make another one. These are all really turned down quite a bit. So if you wanted to make ones that are 45-degree angles from those, you could also. I wouldn't go too overboard on this concept, but you could easily make a bunch of them and not worry about lights at all. In other applications, you have the ability to just burn color. Maya does not have this option, even in version 2014. It's never been an option. I don't think it's ever going to be an option, but it would be nice if it was an option. Okay, so let's go back to batch bake mental array. Again, you almost have to click on that twice every time. Light and color, sort color map, TIFF, orthogonal reflection, and that's it. So let's bake this out and see what happens. Okay, this time let's take a look at the texture. Now you can see it's more uniformed. One is definitely the same. You got both of these are the same color. These are all the same color. These are all the same color. Good. So now you can turn up the resolution on it. Again, because I saved, I can just open that back up very quickly. Oop, and I forgot to save the lights, but that was pretty easy to fix. So in between times, make sure that you save. You know, like don't be like me and accidentally forget to save, having to set your lights back up. There we go. Okay, under batch bake mental ray again, I'm just going to turn this up to the 4096 that I want. And the rest should be good. So I'll meet you back here when it's done. Alright, so here's the finished product of the bake. And this is just the underlying color. So now we can add texture to it a little bit more. So if you look at this, this is under Hypershade, you'll find a new texture. Right click, edit texture, and it should bring it right up into Photoshop. And there we go. So again, this is just the underlying color, and we can add more texture to it and touch it up here in Photoshop. And that's in the next video. So enjoy.